Good morning, respected members and students. Hello, this is CA Pratik. I welcome you all to the fourth lecture of our GST Fun Learning course. I hope आपने पहले तीनों lecture study किए हैं, introduction, supply and place of supply within India, वो वाले point. Today, we are going to learn place of supply part 2. What this is? The lecture number 4 is for the place of supply for services. Section 13 of the IGST Act 2017. The place of supply topic was very vast. Previous lecture was 3.5 hours, and now this will be around 1.5 hour approximate. Okay, so ये है section 13 when it is applicable. क्या क्या points है, क्या क्या changes है, क्या क्या provision है, everything we are going to learn. So I've divided this into three parts. Part 1, when is section 13 applicable? When either the supplier of the services or the recipient of service, दोनों में से कोई भी एक outside India है, then section 13 is applicable. If both are within India, then section 12 जो हमने सीखा था वही. Okay, next, what are the services which are covered in section 13? And then the most important and confusing point, place of supply for intermediary services. ये एक सबसे ज़्यादा important point है which requires clarification from government. I will give you plenty of case studies on it, but still it is confusing and difficult to digest. ठीक है? So let us begin today's topic. Place of supply for services, section 13 of the IGST Act. चलिए. So we have learned section 12 जो हमारा first video था, जिसमें हमने place of supply का discussion किया था. Today we are going to learn section 13 of the IGST Act 2017. Difference क्या है? Difference ये कि either the location of supplier or the location of the recipient, दोनों में से कोई भी एक outside India है, then we are required to refer section 13 of the IGST Act. Okay, either the supplier या तो जिसको मैं सेल कर रहा हूं recipient, दोनों में से कोई भी एक outside India है, then we are required to refer section 13 of the IGST Act. Now this is very different, बहुत ही अलग है ये. Okay, तो इसका first point करते हैं, section number 13(3)(a) of the IGST Act. Place of supply for services on the goods made physically available by the recipient. कुछ नहीं समझा सर, कुछ भी नहीं समझा. Okay, place of supply for services on goods made physically available by the recipient. इसके बारे में समझते हैं. Example, देखो पहले हम लोग समझते हैं point क्या है. Section 13(3)(a. Clear? Services are performed on the goods of the recipient. देखो problem क्या हुआ यहाँ पे. There are goods, assets like plant and machinery, then there are vehicles, etc. Correct. Now जो recipient है ना, उसने outside India से India में भिजवा है. अब मैंने इन goods पे services perform की. I have performed services on this goods. What kind of services? Either I have done storage or warehousing of the goods, or I have provided transportation of the goods, या फिर मैंने services दी import export के लिए loading and unloading की, or I have done testing and research on such goods, ठीक है, या मैंने packing and unpacking की दी, or I have done the services of repairs, treatment और process. ये सारी मैंने goods पे services perform की. So goods किन के है? Recipient के. इंडिया में आए हैं, मैंने सिर्फ इंडिया में services perform किए on this goods, and then the goods are going back. Then the goods are going back. Okay, so example 1, ये एक recipient of services है, इसने goods मुझे इंडिया में दिए. Goods are made available physically by the recipient to the supplier in India. ये supplier है. Okay, so ये सारे goods उसने इंडिया में भिजवाए. अब इंडिया में आने के बाद सप्लायर इस पे सर्विसेज परफॉर्म कर रहा है. कौन सी एनी ऑफ दिस, ऑल भी हो सकती है या कोई भी एक भी हो सकती है. नाउ सी व्हाट सेक्शन 13 सेज. गुड्स बिलोंग टू द रिसिपिएंट आउटसाइड इंडिया. गुड्स आर कमिंग विद इन इंडिया. सर्विसेज आर परफॉर्म विद इन इंडिया. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई सेक्शन क्या बोलता है? ये जो भी सर्विसेज परफॉर्म हुई, ये जो भी सर्विसेज परफॉर्म हुई, क्या हम इसको एक्सपोर्ट बोल सकते हैं? Section 13 कहता है place of supply for the services performed shall be the location where the services are actually performed. ये पॉइंट है सेक्शन 13(3) में. सो ये जो रिसिपिएंट ने गुड्स इंडिया में भिजवाए, काम इंडिया में हुआ, it is not an export because place of supply says location where the services are performed. सर्विस तो इंडिया में हुई, जीएसटी एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा. ओके, ये डेमो था. अब मैं इसको केस स्टडी से समझाता हूँ. से एक कंपनी है, कंपनी एबीसी. इट इज द कंपनी ऑफ यूनाइटेड किंगडम. रिसिपिएंट कहाँ पे है? यूके में. ये क्या कर रहा है? यूके से एक मशीन इंडिया में सेंड कर रहा है to perform the services of testing. So this machine has come to India. Testing will be performed within India. Now, what happens? Free थोड़ी होगा sir. So ये testing के लिए supplier raised an invoice of certain amount. Correct. The testing service were performed by the supplier in his office in the state of Maharashtra. सर्विस कहाँ परफॉर्म हुई? महाराष्ट्र में. सप्लायर ने 50 लाख का टैक्स इनवॉइस रेज किया. अब मेरा आप लोगों से क्वेरी है, क्या सप्लायर ये 50 लाख पे जीएसटी चार्ज करेगा, या फिर हम इसको एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विस बोल सकते हैं बिकॉज द रिसिपिएंट इज आउटसाइड इंडिया एंड पेमेंट भी फॉरेन करेंसी में आई. सी व्हाट द एक्ट सेज. इन द गिवन केस टेस्टिंग सर्विस कहाँ परफॉर्म हुई है सर? टेस्टिंग सर्विस आर परफॉर्म विद इन इंडिया. महाराष्ट्र में तो हुई एज पर 13(3)(a). प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई फॉर द सर्विसेज परफॉर्म्ड ऑन द गुड्स. ये गुड्स जो फिजिकली इंडिया में आए हैं और उस पे सर्विसेज परफॉर्म हुई है. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई शैल बी द लोकेशन where the services are actually performed. Where the service got performed? Maharashtra. Place of supply shall be Maharashtra. ये 50 लाख पे सप्लायर को सीजीएसटी एंड एसजीएसटी चार्ज करना पड़ेगा. चार्ज करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so this is not an export. The point is goods are of outside India coming within India. Service are performed within India. Then the place of supply is within India. The place of supply shall be the location जहाँ पे सर्विस परफॉर्म हुई है वो. ओके, ये तो एक एग्जांपल था. करेक्ट. अब सेकंड केस स्टडी लेते हैं. जैसे एक लंदन का रिसिपिएंट है एंड नेपाल में उसको गुड्स सेंड करने. सी व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. यूके कंपनी सेंड गुड्स फ्रॉम लंदन टू नेपाल. इंडिया तो आया ही नहीं. ओके, इंडिया तो आया ही नहीं है. लेकिन लिसन, आई एम ए सप्लायर रजिस्टर्ड इन दिल्ली. क्या हुआ? लंदन वाला डायरेक्टली नेपाल नहीं भेज पाया. सो सच गुड्स वे टेम्पररीली वेयर हाउस्ड इन इंडिया. मेरे गोडाउन में या मेरे वेयर हाउस में गुड्स टेम्पररी स्टोर किए थे एंड देन आई सेंड द गुड्स टू नेपाल. सो ये गुड्स इंडिया में आए. Warehousing or storage service are performed where? In India on this goods. Loading, unloading कहाँ हुआ? In India. Warehousing and transportation कहाँ हुआ? Within India. And then the goods went to Nepal. देखो गए. So मेरा आप लोगों से एक query है. That supplier तो free में करेगा नहीं. So supplier has performed all the services. Warehousing, loading, unloading within India. Am I right? And he's raising tax invoice of say 5 lakh rupees. Whether this 5 lakh, on this 5 lakh, GST shall be applicable, or will this be classified as export of service subjected to GST? यही है. So यहाँ पे point देखो. In the given case, supplier, मैंने ट्रांसपोर्टर, जो भी मुझे बोलो, वेयर हाउसर, ओनर, मैंने सर्विसेज परफॉर्म की है विद इन इंडिया. गुड्स यूके वाले के हैं, इंडिया में आए, सर्विस कहाँ परफॉर्म हुई? विद इन इंडिया. एज पर सेक्शन 13, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई क्या बोलता है? विथ द गुड्स मेड फिजिकली अवेलेबल बाय द रिसिपिएंट. ये गुड्स इंडिया में आए थे फिजिकली रिसिपिएंट की वजह से. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई शैल बी द लोकेशन where the service are actually performed. So where the services are performed within India. Place of supply shall be Delhi. So मैं भी दिल्ली का, place of supply भी दिल्ली. ये 5 लाख रुपीस पे मैं 18% CGST and SGST चार्ज करूंगा. क्लियर? समझ गया आपको? सो ये पॉइंट था. और भी बहुत सारे केस स्टडीज है. सी दिस नाउ. एग्जांपल एयर एशिया. ना ये तो इंडियन कंपनी है. द रिसीवर इज फॉर अ चेंज इंडियन कंपनी. हाँ, ये उल्टा एग्जांपल है. द रिसिपिएंट इज ऑफ इंडिया. करेक्ट. नाउ एयर एशिया सेंड इट्स एयरक्राफ्ट टू यूएसए फॉर रिपेयरिंग. एयर एशिया जो इंडियन कंपनी है, इट इज सेंडिंग इट्स एयरक्राफ्ट टू यूएसए फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ से रिपेयरिंग और एनीथिंग. करेक्ट. रिपेयरिंग सर्विस आर परफॉर्म्ड इन यूएसए. सप्लायर सर्विस कहाँ परफॉर्म कर रहा है? यूएसए में कर रहा है. और सप्लायर ने सर्विस कहाँ परफॉर्म की? यूएसए में की. सप्लायर ने सर्विस कहाँ परफॉर्म की? यूएसए में की. एंड उसके लिए $50,000 चार्ज कर रहा. सो ये जो भी एयरक्राफ्ट बिगड़ गया था, खराब हो गया था, रिनोवेशन, रिपेयर, जो भी आप लोग बोलो, ये एयर एशिया ने एयरक्राफ्ट भिजवा दिया है यूएसए. सारा काम, सारी सर्विस यूएसए में परफॉर्म हुई. फेयर इनफ. और अब 30 लाख रुपीस दे दिए, whatever, US dollar. अब आप लोग मुझे बताइए, whether USA supplier shall charge GST on this 30 lakh, या फिर हम इसको import of service बोलेंगे एंड एयर एशिया को जीएसटी भरना पड़ेगा रिवर्स चार्ज पे. सोच के मुझे आंसर दीजिए. ओके, प्रॉब्लम फर्स्ट समझते हैं. इन द गिवन केस, जो भी रिपेयरिंग सर्विस हुई परफॉर्म कहाँ हुई है? यूएसए में. ठीक है. एज पर 13.3, रिसिपेंट ने जो गुड्स भिजवाए यूएसए में, सर्विस परफॉर्म हुई यूएसए में. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई कहता है that place of supply shall be the location where the services are performed. Where the services are performed in USA, place of supply shall be USA. So supplier is also of USA. Place of supply is also of USA. This shall be outside the scope of GST. ये import नहीं है, वो import नहीं हुआ, the GST से ही बाहर हो जाएगा. करेक्ट. इंपोर्ट कब होता है? जब प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई इज इन इंडिया, तो इंपोर्ट का क्वेश्चन आता है. या तो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई इज यूएसए. सो दिस इज नाइदर इंपोर्ट नॉर द सप्लायर शैल चार्ज जीएसटी आउटसाइड द स्कोप ऑफ जीएसटी. या समझ गया? नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, नेक्स्ट केस स्टडी. ये देखो, ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट, एक प्रोविजो का जन्म हुआ था 1st of February 2019. प्रोविजो अगेन या एक्सेप्शन, one exception, and for a change this is good exception, very nice exception. देखो, but थोड़ा disputable. Let me explain you this exception. Suppose a UK based recipient है, एक कंपनी है यूनाइटेड किंगडम की, रिसिपिएंट है. इट इज सेंडिंग डायमंड्स टू इंडिया. इंडिया में डायमंड्स भिजवा रही है, ये डायमंड पॉलिशर को. ओके, इट इज सेंडिंग दिस डायमंड्स टू इंडिया टू द सप्लायर ऑफ महाराष्ट्र. ये डायमंड आ गए. सो गुड्स आर मेड फिजिकली अवेलेबल टू द सप्लायर. recipient has made goods physically available in India. क्यों? For the purpose of cutting या पॉलिशिंग. मतलब कोई ट्रीटमेंट के लिए या कोई प्रोसेस के लिए टेम्पररीली इंडिया आए. सो सप्लायर यहाँ पे परफॉर्म करेगा सर्विसेज ऑफ कटिंग या पॉलिशिंग एंड देन ऑफ डायमंड भिजवा देगा बैक टू यूके. सो ये जो डायमंड आए हैं, इस पे ट्रीटमेंट होगा या इस पे प्रोसेस होगा, एंड देन सो दिस ट्रीटमेंट और प्रोसेस, कटिंग, पॉलिशिंग, ये सब कहाँ हुआ? इन द सप्लायर्स ऑफिस इन इंडिया. सो ये डायमंड पे सारा ट्रीटमेंट, प्रोसेस, ऑल द वर्क इज डन इन इंडिया. एंड देन आफ्टर दिस वर्क द सप्लायर सेंड द डायमंड बैक टू यूएसए. करेक्ट. अब फ्री थोड़ी होगा सर. सो सप्लायर चार्जेस इनवॉइस ऑफ से 50 लाख. नाउ थिंक केयरफुली, whether supplier shall charge GST on this 50 lakh, or will it be classified as export of service as recipient outside India ka? Think right now, what did I teach you? I taught you something that if the recipient is sending the goods to India, the cutting, polishing, jo bhi treatment process is done within India. What did I teach you as per section 13.3a? Place of supply shall be the location where the services are performed, in Maharashtra. And place of supply should have been, listen to my words, place of supply should have been Maharashtra. It should be applicable to GST, am I right? But proviso hai. As per this proviso, देखो proviso क्या बोल रहा है? If the goods are temporarily imported into India, temporary, the important word is temporary. अगर गुड्स टेम्पररी इंडिया में आते फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ रिपेयर्स, ट्रीटमेंट और प्रोसेस, किसके लिए आ रहे? छोटा मोटा रिपेयरिंग के लिए, सर्टेन बेसिक ट्रीटमेंट या प्रोसेस के लिए. ओके, एंड देन द गुड्स आर सेंट बैक to the receiver. Place of supply shall be the location ऑफ द रिसिपिएंट, जहां भी रिसिपिएंट रहता है या जहां भी वो रजिस्टर्ड है, जहां भी उसका लोकेशन है, दैट शैल बी द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई. एंड यहाँ पे प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई शैल बी यूनाइटेड किंगडम. सच सर्विस शैल बी क्लासिफाइड एज एक्सपोर्ट. इसको हम एक्सपोर्ट के डेफिनेशन में कवर कर पाएंगे. समझ गया आपको? सी द इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड यहाँ पे क्या है, ये प्रोविजो का जन्म क्यों? बिकॉज मेनी कंपनीज इन यूएसए यूके, ये लोग गुड्स इंडिया में बेचते हैं या चाइना में बेचते हैं फॉर रिपेयरिंग, ट्रीटमेंट और प्रोसेस. अगर इंडिया जीएसटी लगाएगा तो कोई इंडिया में भेजेगा ही नहीं, एवरीवन विल सेंड इट टू चाइना. तो अवॉइड दिस प्रोविजो वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम 1st of February 2019. क्या प्रोविजन है? अगर गुड्स टेम्पररी इंडिया में, एंड कौन से पर्पस के लिए? रिपेयर्स, ट्रीटमेंट या प्रोसेस के लिए, छोटा मोटा ट्रीटमेंट, प्रोसेस, जॉब वर्क आप कह सकते हो वैसा. एंड देन द गुड्स आर गोइंग बैक टू द रिसिपिएंट. ओके, सो यहाँ पे बोला गया है द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई शैल बी लोकेशन ऑफ द रिसिपिएंट. इसको हम एक्सपोर्ट के डेफिनेशन में कवर कर सकते हैं. Oh, but this is a disputable point. कौन से चीज को हम रिपेयर बोल सकते, ट्रीटमेंट बोल सकते, प्रोसेस बोल सकते हैं? There will always be dispute. Always be dispute. ठीक है, तो ये डिस्प्यूट रहेगा, बट जो प्रोविजन है एक्ट में वो मैंने सिखाया. ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. से यूएसए रिसीवर है, द रिसिपिएंट इज ऑफ यूएसए. इट इज सेंडिंग इट्स वेसल टेम्पररीली इन इंडिया फॉर रिपेयरिंग. ये उसने वेसल खराब हो गया होगा, सो इसको गुड्स बोलते हैं. This vessel is coming to India temporarily for the purpose of repairing. मेरे पास आया. So I am a supplier registered in Maharashtra. Where did the repairing service got performed? In India for rupee 1 crore. Repairing service are performed in India for rupees 1 crore. So this vessel came in the port. इस वेसल को आई एम रिपेयरिंग इन इंडिया, महाराष्ट्र में रिपेयर कर रहा हूं. सारी सर्विसेज इस वेसल से रिलेशन में कहां की है? विद इन इंडिया. ओके, नाउ ऑन दिस रिसिपिएंट I have performed the services within Maharashtra. Okay, and then I'm sending the vessel back to USA. So I'm raising a tax invoice of say 50 lakh rupees. Again, same query to you. ये जो 50 लाख और 1 करोड़ जो भी है, 1 करोड़ अज्यूम, इस पे मैं जीएसटी चार्ज करूंगा या हम इसको एक्सपोर्ट के डेफिनेशन में क्लासिफाई कर सकते हैं जीरो रेटेड? व्हाट डू यू सजेस्ट? व्हाट डू यू सजेस्ट? सी द पॉइंट इज, इन द गिवन केस repairing services are performed in India. Okay, supplier have performed the repairing service. Repairing service are performed within India. Section 13(3)(a क्या कहता है? Place of supply shall be the location where the service are performed, right? This is what I taught you. Now, what if the service are performed? Maharashtra. So what should be the place of supply? Maharashtra. GST should have been applicable, right? But just now, because of proviso of 13(3)(a), if the vessel or goods is temporarily imported in India for the purpose of repairs, treatment, process, such services, में place of supply क्या हो जाएगा? Shall be the location of the recipient. So what is the location of the recipient? USA. Place of supply shall be USA. We can classify it as export, zero rated. But again, a disputable point, that what do you mean temporarily? अगर repairing के लिए आया, 1 or 2 years I'm repairing and then sending back, is it covered in this provision? Government has not yet clarified. Government is really not. What do you define temporary? Nothing is clarified. Could it be 7 days, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year? Nothing is clarified. So always there will be dispute. Department will say GST applicable. We can apply this provision and argue GST not applicable. So need clarification from government so far. Okay, so if your recipient is ready to shell out GST, I will suggest, even if the provision is there, please pay GST. Okay, so this is just my view, my suggestion, and there will always be dispute in this case. Okay, so now ये जो provision कहता है उसके बारे में discuss करते हैं, that any goods or machinery or asset, anything which are temporarily imported in India, foreign से India में temporarily, and we are performing just repairing, treatment or processes are performed on these goods within India. सारा काम सर्विस का performer within India. After such repairs, treatment or process, the goods are going back to the recipient. If such is the scenario, then at the place of supply is the location of the recipient. Okay, it will be classified as export. Now, why is this introduced? To promote export, reduce the cost of repairs and everything. Else, all the foreign supply shall send goods to our competitor, that is China. इंडिया में जॉब वर्क रिपेयर्स ये सब बंद हो जाएगा. No foreign supplier will send the goods within India. Okay, so this is 13.3a. If the goods are made physically available by the recipient within India, services are performed other than repairs, other than treatment, other than process, then what is the place of supply? Location where the service are performed. So अगर इंडिया में सर्विस परफॉर्म हो रही है, जीएसटी एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा. रिसिपिएंट का लोकेशन इज इमटेरियल. बट इफ कौन सी सर्विस परफॉर्म हो रही है, टेम्पररी इंडिया में आया है, repairs, treatment, process, job work, anything. And then the goods are going back to the recipient. As per this provision, place of supply shall be the location of the recipient. It would be classified as export. Zero rated. Zero rated. My view, I will give you that agar goods temporary India mein aa rahe for job work or basic things temporarily, any design development, बस basic के लिए, and आप वापस भेज रहे हो, it will not be subjected to GST. बट अगर कोई डिजाइन आ रहा है और आप सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप कर रहे हो, डिजाइन इंप्लीमेंट कर रहे हो, देन द सॉफ्टवेयर इज बीइंग सेंट बैक टू द कंट्री, तो यहाँ तो कोई ट्रीटमेंट प्रोसेस नहीं, आपने तो कोई नई सर्विस है, नया सप्लाई दे दी. सो मेरे हिसाब से जीएसटी आना चाहिए. दिस जस्ट माय व्यू. ओके, नाउ लेट अस मूव टू 13.3b ऑफ द आईजीएसटी एक्ट. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई फॉर द सर्विसेज provided to individual which require physical presence of the individual. कुछ समझा? कुछ समझा नहीं? चलो देखते हैं. See, point समझते हैं. 13.3b, it is applicable only when the service are provided to the individuals or service are provided to the person acting on behalf of the receiver. Service are provided to the individuals or receiver, or service are provided to the person acting on behalf of the recipient. जैसे कोई कमर्शियल ट्रेनिंग दे देते हैं हम, कोचिंग सर्विसेज परफॉर्म होती है, हेल्थ एंड फिटनेस की सर्विसेज परफॉर्म होती है. अग्रीड. नाउ द रिसिपिएंट, अगर मुझे ट्रेनिंग देनी है, recipient is required to be physically present in India. The recipient is required to be physically present for receiving such services. If yes, place of supply shall be the location where the service are actually performed. I will give you one example. There are plenty of case study. Foreign supplier को health and fitness के लिए मुझसे पास ट्रेनिंग लेनी थी इंडिया में. He comes to India. Service are performed within India. I train him within India, and then he goes back. क्या हम इसको export बोल सकते हैं? Place of supply shall be the location where the services are performed. GST applicable. Okay, so ये एक basic example था. अब इसको case study wise study करते हैं. Point number 1, case study 1. Mitchell Starc. Few people might knowing Australian fast bowler. Now he wanted to take coaching, cricket coaching from the supplier, Mr. Kapil Dev, who is registered in Maharashtra. So Mitchell Starc, जो Australian player है, is coming to India for obtaining cricket coaching services. So ये इंडिया में आया है, coaching service आप perform. देखो.
Oh, that's a beauty.
So now he got the coaching service are performed in India. Whether Mr. Kapil shall charge GST to Mitchell Starc क्योंकि foreign currency में पैसे दिए, या फिर we will classify it as export of service, zero rated, as recipient is outside India. So Mitchell Starc came to India, service of coaching are performed within India, and then Mitchell Starc goes back to his country. What the act says? What the act says? In the given case, the supplier perform, Mr. Kapil Deva perform coaching service within the country, Maharashtra. As per 13.3b, place of supply. If the recipient is required to be physically present in India, place of supply shall be the location where the service are performed. Where the service are performed? Maharashtra. Place of supply shall be Maharashtra. So supply जो कपिल देव वो भी महाराष्ट्र में. Place of supply is also Maharashtra. Kapil Dev will charge CGST and SGST for his services. इस पे GST applicable हो जाएगा. ये एक्सपोर्ट नहीं हुआ. समझ गया आपको सर? मिचर स्टाक को फिजिकली आना था इंडिया में, सर्विस परफॉर्म हुई है इंडिया में, GST एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा. वन मोर एग्जांपल, से दिस इज रिसिपिएंट ऑफ यूएसए, इनको तो सब जानते हैं. ओके, मिस्टर विल स्मिथ. नाउ ही वांटेड हेल्थ एंड फिटनेस सर्विसेज, सो ही इज कमिंग टू इंडिया टू दिस सप्लायर ऑफ महाराष्ट्र. ये इंडिया आया, coaching and health and fitness service are performed in India, Maharashtra. So ये देखो, ये कोचिंग सर्विस ले रहा है, ये हेल्थ एंड फिटनेस की सर्विसेज ले रहा है, ये सारी सर्विसेज जो ले रहा है, इट इज बीइंग परफॉर्म इन इंडिया, इन महाराष्ट्र. करेक्ट. सो मेरी क्वेरी आप लोगों से ये जो सप्लायर ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, whether he will charge GST or else we will classify it as export, as Will Smith is outside India, recipient is outside India. Okay, so ये query है. चलो act wise समझते हैं. Where the health and service are performed? Maharashtra. 13(3)(b) says, if it requires physical presence of the recipient, place of supply shall be the location where the services are performed. Where the service of health and fitness were performed? In the state of Maharashtra. GST applicable hoga because supplier is also of Maharashtra, place of supply is also of Maharashtra, GST applicable. Not an export. Supplier Maharashtra, place of supply also Maharashtra, GST applicable. Now let us move to 13 subsection 4. 13(3) खत्म हो गया. ठीक है, 13(3)(a and b खत्म. एक तो गुड्स का फिजिकल प्रेजेंस है, वो पॉइंट है 13(3)(a, एंड दूसरा पर्सन का फिजिकल प्रेजेंस है, वो 13(3)(b है. अब हम मूव करते हैं 13(4), प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई फॉर द सर्विस सप्लाइड इन रिलेशन टू इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी. दिस इज बराबर, दिस इज परफेक्ट. परफेक्ट इसका आंसर है, विच वी हैव ऑलरेडी लर्नड इन सेक्शन 12 इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी, जो प्रीवियस लेक्चर था. इसका भी वही आंसर है. ठीक है, चलो देखते हैं. फॉलोइंग सर्विसेज आई ऑलरेडी टॉट यू, लेट्स रीडू इट. फॉलोइंग सर्विस आर एग्जांपल for service in relation to immovable property. सिर्फ immovable property नहीं, in relation to immovable property. जैसे architect, he designs the building. Interior decorator decorates and make it proper. Correct. Engineer पूरा चार्ट बनाता है, स्ट्रक्चर बनाता है of immovable property. There are contractor, coordinator, works contractor who construct or subcontract the building. Then there is repairing, renovation, fitting out, redevelopment of immovable property. Builders who construct or do all the work of immovable property. Place of supply for all these services shall be the location where the immovable property is situated. जहां भी immovable property है, वो state को GST revenue मिलेगा. Place of supply, correct? We have already learned this, right? But इसके कुछ case study करते हैं because ये section 13 में है. What do you mean by section 13? Either the supplier is outside India और द रिसिपिएंट ऑफ सर्विस इज आउटसाइड इंडिया. दोनों में से एक यार आउटसाइड इंडिया है, और पूरा सर्विसेज का ही है, गुड्स का क्वेश्चन ही नहीं. केस स्टडी 1. से एन आर्किटेक्ट, शी इज रजिस्टर्ड इन महाराष्ट्र, सो सप्लायर इज विद इन इंडिया. She is supplying service in relation to immovable property to the recipient of United Kingdom. यानी recipient is outside India, UK वाला है. But she is constructing the property for the recipient. She is constructing property for the recipient in India in the state of Delhi. वो recipient को सर्विस दे रही है, but recipient के लिए प्रॉपर्टी कहाँ बन रहा है? दिल्ली में. So ये जो ड्राइंग बना रही है, ये जो डिजाइन बना रहे हैं, whatever work she is doing in relation to immovable property, that immovable property will be constructed at Delhi. Architect raises an invoice of say rupees 5 lakh. Again, query to all of you. Whether supplier, the architect shall charge GST because property is in Delhi, or this will be classified as export because recipient is outside India. क्या लगता है आपको? Just now we learned section 13 subsection 4. It says, whenever I give services in relation to immovable property, place of supply shall be the location of immovable property. So where is the immovable property? Delhi. Place of supply shall be counted as Delhi, even though the recipient outside India का. So supplier Maharashtra का है. Place of supply we determined is Delhi. It shall be subjected to GST. If it is different state, which GST will be applicable? IGST. So supplier 5 lakh पे IGST लगाएगा sir. Even though the recipient is serviced outside India, GST applicable. Understood this fact? Nahin? Let us do one more case study, you will understand. Say advocate. Advocate is registered in Maharashtra. It is supplying services of drafting and vetting documents in relation to immovable property which belong to the recipient of UK. So supplier India ka hai, recipient is outside India in section 30. Correct. Now where is the immovable property? ये जो documents draft किए, vetting किया, the immovable property which is going to be constructed is also at UK. So recipient also of UK. Immovable property also of UK. Advocate say raises an invoice of 5 crore. Now you tell me whether such supply services shall be subjected to CGST or SGST. क्या? क्योंकि एडवोकेट तो इंडिया का है, या फिर हम इसको एक्सपोर्ट बोल सकते हैं. This time, the recipient of the service is also of UK and the immovable property is also outside India. क्या अब GST लगेगा? चलो सेक्शन वाइज स्टडी करते हैं. As per 13 subsection 4, जब भी हम सर्विस देते हैं in relation to immovable property, whenever the in relation again widens the definition. Place of supply shall be the location where the immovable property is situated or going to be situated. Where is the immovable property? UK. What is the place of supply in this case? UK. Since property as well as recipient both are outside India, property as well as both are outside India, it shall be classified as export of service. 5 करोड़ को zero rated हो जाएगा. Zero rated. Exam, no, never say exam, zero rated. Okay, case study number 3. Now this is an engineer who is registered in Maharashtra. Okay, he is supplying service in relation to immovable property of the recipient. Recipient is also of Maharashtra. Yani supplier is also of Maharashtra. Recipient is also of Maharashtra. Okay, but the immovable property is being constructed at United Kingdom. So देखो क्या हुआ. Both supplier as well as recipient is of Maharashtra, but immovable property is outside India. Since supplier and recipient both are in India, section 13 नहीं आएगा. Where we will go? Section 12 जो हमने सीखा था. Okay, engineer raise an invoice of 5 crore. अब ध्यान से सोचो. This time recipient is of Maharashtra, but immovable property is of UK. अब आप लोग बताइए whether such services shall be subjected to GST or it shall be classified as export because the property is outside India. क्या लगता है आपको? सॉल्यूशन हमने क्या पढ़ा? देखो 13.4 में क्या लिखा है? Place of supply shall be the location where the immovable property is situated. In the given case, मानता हूं immovable property is in United Kingdom. Place of supply should have been UK 13.4 के हिसाब से. बराबर है. It should have been classified as export. But यहाँ पे तो 13.4 आ ही नहीं सकता. Why? Because supplier is also of India. Recipient is also of India. So section 13 is gone. We have to go to section 12. And उसमें एक proviso था section 12 में. क्या था section 12 में proviso? If the location of immovable property agreed outside India, but since the recipient is in India, place of supply shall be the location of the recipient. Where is the recipient? Maharashtra. What will be the place of supply per section 12? Maharashtra. So supplier be Maharashtra. Place of supply be Maharashtra. Agreed property is outside India. Since recipient is in India, proviso. Exception. इस 5 करोड़ पे GST applicable होगा. This will not be classified as export because supplier and recipient both are within India. Understood? ठीक है. So identify whether it's section 12 or whether it's section 13. What are the steps? Step is either the supplier or the recipient is outside India, we will refer section 13. But if both are within India, we will refer section 12 and accordingly answer every case. Now, next point. So, just 1 minute revise. place of supply for service in relation to immovable property. क्या होता है? If the recipient is outside India and immovable property is also out India, what shall be the place of supply? Outside India. Export count किया जाएगा. Because recipient is also outside India, place of supply is also outside India. यहाँ पे location of foreign recipient export हो जाएगा. But if the recipient is in India and immovable property is outside India, this is not an export. Section 13 नहीं, यहाँ पे section 12 हो जाएगा, because supplier as well as recipient are within India. So in this case, this is not an export. Proviso says GST applicable. GST applicable because recipient भी India का है, ठीक है? And to a recipient outside India, but immovable property is within India. तो फिर देखो, since recipient outside India, section 13. Am I right? What section 13 says? Place of supply is the location of immovable property. Immovable property is within India. So again, not an export, shall be subjected to GST. ठीक है? एक 13.4 में कुछ और पॉइंट्स है, जैसे अभी तो मैंने सर्विस बताई इन रिलेशन टू इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी, बट नाउ लेट अस आल्सो डिस्कस अकोमोडेशन, जो हमने सेक्शन 12 में किया. अकोमोडेशन से अ सप्लायर एक एक्सीलेंट होटल है, इट्स नेम इज ओबेरॉयड, it is registered in Rajasthan. So supplier is registered in Rajasthan. It is supplying services of accommodation in Jaipur, Rajasthan for rupees 10,000 to a foreign recipient of USA. See, either the supplier or the recipient is outside India. Section 30. Section 30. So now what will happen in this case? Say this is a hotel. So in this hotel, the supplier has come to obtain accommodation service. So accommodation is also done in Jaipur. Luxury is also enjoyed in Jaipur. Food and all the service are enjoyed in Jaipur. जो भी लोकेशन देखा, सब रिसिपेंट ने कहाँ देखा? जयपुर में. And then it goes back to his country in USA. Now the Oberoi will raise an invoice whether such supply shall be subjected to GST or will it be classified as export because the recipient is outside India. What do you suggest? What do you suggest? See, as per section 13.4, use your common sense. Place of supply for the accommodation. Accommodation के लिए place of supply shall always be the location where accommodation यानी immovable property is situated. Where the accommodation was provided by supplier, obviously in the hotel. It cannot be online. So service are performed in India. Immovable property is situated within Rajasthan. So place of supply shall be the state of Rajasthan. Correct? So hotel is also, supplier is located in Rajasthan. Place of supply just now we determined Rajasthan. It shall be subjected to CGST and SGST. Just because recipient outside India doesn't mean it is an export. The immovable property is in India. Accommodation is in India. Service are performed within India. GST applicable, sir. ठीक है? So please ध्यान रखना. Correct? चलो, one more case study in relation to this time. Say a supplier, a hotel is of Australia. Supplier this time is outside India. It is giving services of accommodation for a monthly rent to the recipient. देखो सर्विस कौन सी मिल रही है? Which service supplier is giving accommodation, rent पे दे रही है $1,000 to me. So now the recipient is registered in Maharashtra. So recipient is within India, but supplier is outside India. Section 13. So I went to USA. Correct? I obtain accommodation service in USA. मैं रेंट पे भी कहाँ रहा? USA में. Now Australian supplier, it is charging me $1,000. On this $1,000, whether Australian supplier shall collect GST, मुझे GST लगाएगा, या फिर मैं इसको import के definition में डालूं and the recipient जो मैं हूं, मुझे GST भरना पड़ेगा import पे, reverse charge पे. क्या लगता है आपको? See, मैंने आपको क्या बताया? As per 13.4, place of supply for the accommodation services is the location where the immovable property is situated. Where the immovable property is situated? Australia, Sydney, Australia में है. So what is the place of supply? Australia. सिंस अकोमोडेशन इज इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, मैं रेंट पे भी रहा ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, सर्विस आर परफॉर्म इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई शैल बी ऑस्ट्रेलिया. सो दिस टाइम द सप्लायर, जो ओनर है प्रॉपर्टी का, इज ऑल्सो ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, place of supply is also of Australia. This transaction shall outside the scope of GST. Import कब होता है? जब place of supply is within India. क्या डिटरमाइन हुआ? प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई इज ऑस्ट्रेलिया, आउटसाइड इंडिया. सो ये इंपोर्ट भी नहीं है, हर जगह इंडियन जीएसटी नहीं आ सकता, आउटसाइड द स्कोप ऑफ जीएसटी. ओके, ठीक है. इट इज इररिस्पेक्टिव दैट रिसिपिएंट इज विद इन इंडिया, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हर जगह इंडियन जीएसटी नहीं आ सकता. अग्रीड. अब मूव करते हैं सेक्शन 13 सबसेक्शन 6 पे जाते हैं. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई फॉर द सर्विसेज, जो भी हमने अभी पढ़ी 13.3 में, 13.4 में, 13.5 में, जो भी अभी सर्विसेज पढ़ी उसके बारे में डिस्कस करते हैं 13 सबसेक्शन 6 में. देखो ये पॉइंट क्या है, वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डाइजेस्ट, ये बिलीव ही नहीं कर सकते वैसा पॉइंट है. देखो आई विल गिव यू, इट इज द सर्विसेज which are performed in taxable territory also, and it is the services which are also performed in non-taxable territory. मतलब सर्विस थोड़ी इंडिया में परफॉर्म हुई है एंड सर्विस थोड़ी आउटसाइड इंडिया में परफॉर्म हुई. देखो आंसर कैसा बना है, एक्ट को ड्राफ्ट कैसा किया है. यू विल बी एंग्री आफ्टर लिसनिंग टू दिस एग्जांपल. सुन लो ध्यान से. से अ रिसिपिएंट इज ऑफ यूनाइटेड किंगडम आउटसाइड इंडिया, आउटसाइड इंडिया आगे मतलब सेक्शन 30, करेक्ट. द सप्लायर से मैं हूं, इट आई एम रजिस्टर्ड इन महाराष्ट्र. So a UK company, it is sending its machine in India. Machine कहाँ आया? In India to perform the services of testing. So ये services India में आई है, machine sorry India में आया है, goods भी India में आया है, testing कहाँ करनी है? India में करनी है. So this time what the I did, supply did, सारे equipments India में अच्छे नहीं थे. So he performed 40% testing service within India, within Maharashtra. एंड बैलेंस 60% जो था, इतने अच्छे इक्विपमेंट नहीं थे, सो परफॉर्म बैलेंस 60% आउटसाइड इंडिया, श्रीलंका में किया, श्रीलंका में किया. अब मुझे आप लोग बताइए, ऑन व्हाट अमाउंट द सप्लायर शैल चार्ज जीएसटी टू द रिसिपिएंट. 50 लाख ले रहा हूं ना, 40% काम इंडिया में किया है सप्लायर ने एंड 60% काम आउटसाइड इंडिया नॉन टैक्सेबल टेरिटरी में किया है. आप लोग मुझे बताइए, मुझे पूरे 50 लाख पे जीएसटी लगाना चाहिए या 50 लाख इंटू 40% जो इंडिया में हुई वो. ओके चलो इसको एक्ट वो सेक्शन वाइज रिफर करते हैं. फर्स्ट लेट अस रिवाइज सेक्शन 13 3A जो हमने पढ़ा था. इफ द गुड्स आर कमिंग टू इंडिया, service are performed within India, assume other than repair, treatment or process. What is the place of supply? Location where the service are performed. So where the services are performed? Within India. Correct. And in Sri Lanka. So place of supply is India also. Place of supply is Sri Lanka also. That means place of supply is taxable territory India and place of supply is non-taxable territory Sri Lanka. Correct. But section 13(6) क्या बोलता है वो सुनो. What a comedy section. If the services are performed partly in India, that is taxable territory, and partly outside India, that is in Sri Lanka, non-taxable territory, then the place of supply entirely shall be the location in taxable territory. Entirely. भले outside India भी हुआ हो, it is immaterial that 60% service are performed outside India, 40% तो इंडिया में हुई है टैक्सेबल टेरिटरी में. जीएसटी पूरे 50 लाख पे लगेगा. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई shall be Maharashtra. It is irrespective of the fact that 60% service are performed in Sri Lanka or outside India, non-taxable territory. पूरे 50 लाख पे 18% जीएसटी लग गया. Why? Because the service are performed in taxable territory also and also in non-taxable territory. 13(6) says जीएसटी पूरे पे लगेगा, पूरे 50 लाख पे अट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा. Difficult to believe, na? But it is a fact. One more example. Say this is a recipient of United States of America. He want to obtain health and fitness service for say 45 days. 25 lakh देगा इस supplier को. Okay, so what he is doing? What he is doing in this case? In this case, जो supplier था ना, उसने 15 days उसको ट्रेनिंग दी इन हिज जिम इन महाराष्ट्र, बराबर। आउट ऑफ 45 days 15 days इंडिया में उसको ट्रेन किया, एंड बैलेंस 30 days के लिए ही वेंट टू यूएसए to perform this health and fitness service. So services are performed partly in taxable territory, India में 15 दिन, and services are also performed partly in non-taxable territory, 30 days outside India. Don't you think GST proportionately आना चाहिए? On what amount the supplier shall charge GST? 25 लाख पूरे पे लगाएगा या proportionately? देखो पहली बात, as per 13(3)(b, रिसिपिएंट इंडिया में आया है, इट रिक्वायर्ड इज फिजिकल प्रेजेंस, ऑनलाइन तो नहीं था, फिजिकल प्रेजेंस रिक्वायर्ड था। 13(3)(b ने बोला था प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई shall be the location where the services are performed, where the services are performed in taxable territory also India and in USA non taxable territory, दोनों है। बट 13(6) क्या बोलता है, अगर सर्विस पार्टली इंडिया में परफॉर्म हो रही है टैक्सेबल टेरिटरी and partly perform or in non-taxable territory, place of supply shall be the location of taxable territory. पूरे 25 लाख पे जीएसटी लगेगा इमटेरियल कि 30 days यूएसए में हुआ है। ओके, सो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई शैल बी महाराष्ट्र, पूरे 25 लाख के ऊपर सीजीएसटी एसजीएसटी चार्ज कर दिया जाएगा। नाउ दिस इज बुकिश नॉलेज, practically it is difficult to find out by the government, but पता होना चाहिए। Act says as a GST consultant, as a GST auditor, it is my responsibility to take care of my clients. So अगर ऐसा होता है मेरी responsibility है to guide him or her or my company or firm. Correct? So you should be aware about each and every provision. Whether government will catch you, will it be able to catch you is a secondary point. If scrutiny come, they may catch you or they may not catch you. So this is section 13(6). Now on the similar line, there is 13 subsection 7. Place of supply for services referred in section 13(3) जो अभी हमने पढ़ा, immovable property वाला पढ़ा वो सारे. If the service are performed in more than one state or more than one union territory. करेक्ट। अब ये देखो, सर्विस इंडिया में ही परफॉर्म हो रही है, पूरी की पूरी टैक्सेबल टेरिटरी में ही परफॉर्म हो रही है, बट पार्टली एक स्टेट में हो रही है, पार्टली दूसरे स्टेट में हो रही है, बस वो फर्क है। ओके, बस वो फर्क है। जैसे मिचेल स्टार्क एग्जांपल यही ले लेते हैं, इज अ रिसिपिएंट ऑफ आउटसाइड इंडिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, he is coming to India for obtaining cricket coaching service from the supplier of Maharashtra. Fees say 24 lakh. So he came to India. Okay, supplier is of Maharashtra. Training coaching will be performed in Maharashtra. Right? He performed 1 month coaching. जो supplier था उसने उसको cricket coaching दी 1 month in his state in Maharashtra. And he gave 3-month coaching in his ground in which state? Delhi. So यहाँ पे जो सप्लायर था उसने पार्टली महाराष्ट्र में परफॉर्म की 1 month एंड पार्टली 3 months कहाँ परफॉर्म की? दिल्ली में परफॉर्म की। अब आप लोग मुझे बताएंगे, ठीक है, वेदर मिस्टर कपिल शैल चार्ज जीएसटी, या हम इसको एक्सपोर्ट बोले, इसके जीएसटी से ही बाहर कर देते हैं। सो याद करो ये सेक्शन, याद करो 13(3), 13(7), ये सब याद करो एंड देन वी विल। सो बताइए, अब आप लोग एक्ट वाइज इसको ब्रेकअप करके मुझे आंसर दीजिए। सी पॉइंट नंबर 1, द रिसिपिएंट इज आउटसाइड इंडिया, इज कमिंग टू इंडिया, so it required his physical presence and service are performed within India. So कौन सा सेक्शन रिफर करेंगे? 13(3)(b. The coaching service are performed in Maharashtra as per 13(3)(b. Place of supply which require physical presence of the recipient shall be the location where the services are performed. Where the services are performed, partly in the state of Maharashtra and partly in the state of Delhi. Hence place of supply Maharashtra भी होगा, place of supply Delhi भी होगा। अब इसको वैल्यू कैसे करेंगे? As per 13(7) हम इसको वैल्यू करेंगे। If the service are performed in more than one state or more than one union territory, place of supply shall be made in each of the state or union territory, proportion of the value of supply separately collected. जैसे कोई agreement है मिचेल स्टार्क के साथ, which is difficult but assume है that 1 month महाराष्ट्र के लिए आपसे 12 lakhs लिए जाएंगे, एंड सॉरी 10 lakhs लिए जाएंगे, एंड 3 month जो दिल्ली में परफॉर्म होगा उसके लिए 14 lakhs लिए जाएंगे. सो रेशियो विल बी 10:14. करेक्ट. अगर अग्रीमेंट में रेशियो इज गिवन, यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट दैट. But 99% no ratio will be given. Then how will you determine? Reasonable basis. They have mentioned reasonable. What is reasonable? Number of months or number of days. So यहाँ पे कैसे reasonable आप determine करोगे? यहाँ पे number of days और number of months. So यहाँ पे supply एक नहीं दो इनवॉइस रेस करेगा. फर्स्ट इनवॉइस जो महाराष्ट्र में उसने कोचिंग दी कितने दिनों के लिए? 1 month. Am I right? So 6 lakh रेशियो क्या हो गया? 1:3. 1/4, 3/4. So 24 lakh divided by 4. 6 lakh के लिए CGST SGST चार्ज किया जाएगा. 1 out of 4 months महाराष्ट्र में परफॉर्म हुआ. एंड सेकेंड इनवॉइस 3 out of 4 months. 3/4 कहाँ परफॉर्म हुआ? दिल्ली में. So 18 lakh plus IGST of Delhi. क्योंकि 3/4, 3 out of 4 coached in Delhi. Not 1, sorry, it should be 3. 3 out of 4 is coaching given in Delhi. It is immaterial that recipient outside India है. GST applicable हो जाएगा. Okay, and now comes the most important point, section 13, subsection 8. Very, very important. Place of supply for intermediary services. Okay, ये बहुत ही difficult है, and many people are making mistake in this. Place of supply for intermediary service. Okay, so let us start. What is the meaning of intermediary service? What is this intermediary services in GST law? Let us understand. As per section 2 subsection 13 of IGST Act, intermediary means कोई भी intermediary means any commission agent, or he is a broker, or whatever name you call, middle person, who is doing what? Just arranging the supply of goods or service, or is helping in facilitating the supply of goods and service between supplier and receiver. Okay, he is just an arranging or facilitating the supply of goods and services. He is not selling on his own. He is just arranging or facilitating the supply. This agent, this broker, or whatever person you call, is known as intermediary. Clear? This middle person is known as intermediary. One example I will like to give you. Suppose he is a foreign supplier, anywhere from US or UK. He wants to promote his products in India. That's why he appoint me as an intermediary, commission agent, broker, whatever you think. Okay, now I will identify the customers in India, and then this foreign supplier will directly sell his goods or services to the Indian customer. I am not selling. He will directly sell. Okay, now I'm not going to do this for free. So I will collect what? Commission income from this foreign supplier. I earn foreign currency in India from this supplier. Correct. So what was my role as an intermediary? I was just a middleman or a broker or an agent. I arranged, identified and arranged, and I facilitated the supply of goods and services. Correct. I was not involved in the sale. I did not supply goods on my own account. They both directly supplied. I just arranged or I just facilitated the supply, and I earned foreign commission income. Correct. Now comes the main question. Taxability and place of supply for such intermediary service. Correct? See, suppose I am an intermediary. I arrange that. I earn commission income. I am registered in Maharashtra. I identified customers for this USA person, right? He is the recipient of the agency service in USA, outside India. Now, what did he pay me? He paid me commission in India. So I earned foreign commission, foreign currency income. Now my query, my question to all of you, whether this foreign commission that I have earned, whether this agency service, intermediary service that I have provided is considered as export of service, will it be classified as zero rated? क्या ये commission मुझे export की तरीके गिनना है? क्या इस पे GST attract होगा, or it will be zero rated? This is my query. Now see what law says. Understand this law. As per section 13 subsection 8b of IGST Act, place of supply for such intermediary is the location of the supplier. That is the location of such intermediary. Wherever the intermediary is registered in GST, that is the place of supply. So intermediary is registered in Maharashtra, hence place of supply shall be Maharashtra. Getting the point? This is the irony. Now, I'm a supplier, I'm registered in Maharashtra. What the place of supply answer came? That is also Maharashtra. Since both are Maharashtra, it shall not be counted as export. This intermediary may whatever commission I am earning, I will also have to pay CGST and SGST on such commission income. It shall not be classified as export of service. I repeat, it shall not be classified as export of service. Okay, so such intermediary is earning foreign commission through this agency, brokerage, whatever you call. He is subjected to GST audit. Clear? This is the point of intermediary. Understood? Now I will explain you through case study. Let us do 3 to 4 case study and understand this point. Point number 1, where this applies. Suppose there is a UK supplier or UK tour operator. You can see he is appointing me as an intermediary. I am registered in Maharashtra. He appointed me as a commission agent, broker, whatever you say. Now, for this UK tour, I will identify Indian customer. I will identify Indian customer. So what my role is? I shall supply service of identify the Indian customer, facilitating or arranging the booking of the tour to the Indian customers. I repeat, to the Indian customer, Indian tourist. Now, I'm not going to do this for free. For this services, UK supplier shall pay me commission income. मैं जो भी customer ला रहा हूँ, उसके लिए will pay me what? Commission income. So I earn commission of say 10,000 pounds. How much I earn? 10,000 pounds. Now my query to all of you, whether this commission earned of 10,000 pounds, whether these services that are provided shall be subjected to GST or will it be classified as export of services? Just now we learned as per section 13, subsection 8, clause B of IGST Act, place of supply for intermediary service shall be the location wherever the intermediary agent broker is registered. So I am registered in Maharashtra, hence place of supply shall be Maharashtra. I will have to charge GST at the rate of 18% on this 10,000 pounds. Now, do you think he is going to pay me? No one will pay. So what I will have to do, on this 10,000 pound, I will have to pay GST from my pocket. Yes, this is the irony. The intermediary all are paying 18% GST from their pocket because of this place of supply. Correct? Now, one more, this should be classified as export, but because of this place of supply provision, it is classified, not classified as export, in fact, subjected to GST. One more case study I will like to do, case study 2. Suppose this is a USA manufacturer. He is appointing me as an intermediary. I am registered in Maharashtra. What do I have to do? I have to promote the sale of machines which are manufactured by him. I will identify Indian customer. Okay. So I as an intermediary, I shall supply service of identifying and arranging and facilitating the booking of machines. So these are the Indian customers that I have identified. Now, USA person will directly supply machine to Ratan Tata sir. But I'm not going to do this for free. So again, from this USA manufacturer, I will earn what? Commission income. I'm just an agent, broker. I earn commission, foreign currency. I earn again, say $20,000 or whatever. I earn $20,000. Now, again, query to all of you, whether such commission earned shall be subjected to GST or it shall be classified as export. यार foreign commission ला रहा हूँ, export तो गिनना चाहिए. But what law says? As per section 13 subsection 8 clause B of IGST Act, place of supply for intermediary shall be the location where the intermediary is registered in GST. So intermediary is registered in Maharashtra, place of supply is Maharashtra. I will have to charge 18% GST on this $10,000. It should be dollar, not pound. Okay, if recipient does not pay, I will have to pay 18% again from my pocket. No one pays. No foreign guy is going to pay me GST because they are not going to get any benefit. So every supplier, every intermediary, every agent or broker earning foreign commission are paying 18% from their pocket. Okay, now this was case study 2, but one relaxation which I'm going to explain you in case study 3. This is excellent point. See this. Again, USA manufacturer. He appoint me as an intermediary. I'm registered in Maharashtra. I'm a commission agent or broker. Now, what role did he give me? To promote his machine, not in India, to promote their machines in United Kingdom, outside India. So, what is my role now? I will identify and arrange or facilitate the supply of machines outside India, UK customers. So, I identified, say, Bill Gates, sir. Okay, so now I identified UK customer. Now, USA manufacturer will directly sell goods or services or this machine to the UK customer. The machine will move from USA to UK. It will never come to India. Am I right? The machine will move from USA to UK. It will never come to India. See this. The machine went from USA to UK. Now, it's because of me that he got the customer. So obviously USA manufacturer will pay me what? Commission. So I earn commission of say $20,000. I earn commission of say $20,000. This much I have earned commission. Now again my query to all of you. This time machine has not come to India. Whether this will be subjected to GST, जो भी मैं foreign commission, foreign currency लाया हूँ $20,000 की, क्या GST लगेगा? Or will it be considered as export of services? Same point. Government says, what is the difference? As per 13 subsection 8, place of supply for intermediary is what? Location of the supplier. Where is the intermediary registered? Maharashtra. Will it be subjected? Answer is yes, 18% GST will be attracted. This was the scenario, but there was a change. There was a change. As per notification number 20/2019, they, there was a change. If the location of the supplier of machines or any goods and the location of the recipient of the machine or any goods is outside India, supplier bhi bahar hai, India, USA mein, recipient of the goods is also in UK, goods are never coming to India, then whatever commission I am earning, I repeat, whatever commission the agent is earning is exempt under GST law. One change has come. Very good. Welcome change. From 1st October 19th, this change has come. Okay, so this is the notification you need to refer. When is this applicable? When the supplier was in USA, means outside India. The recipient is also outside India. Goods are never coming to India. Okay, so whatever India agent, Indian intermediary is earning commission, foreign currency, it is exempt under GST law. Okay, very good. This is one change. Now to the irony, one point I need to explain through case study 4. Okay, see this. What has happened? Suppose Mukesh Ambani, sir, is registered in GST in Maharashtra. What he is doing? He is appointing commission agent. He is not an intermediary. Huh? He is appointing commission agent or broker of Australia. So intermediary is appointed where? In Australia. He want to promote his products where? In Australia. Mukesh Ambani, sir. Now, this Australian intermediary shall supply service of identifying and arranging and facilitating the booking of mobiles, Reliance ke mobiles, in Australia. See this. Already promoting. In Australia, they want to promote it. So this intermediary will supply services to the Australian customers. Now what will happen? For this, Mr. Mukesh sir will obviously pay. I repeat, for this, Mr. Mukesh sir will now pay commission outside India. So this time, Mr. Mukesh sir paid Indian currency or foreign currency out of India to this intermediary. Say 5 lakh rupees it paid to this intermediary. My query to all of you, whether this 5 lakh paid outside India shall be subjected to GST under reverse charge as import? Will it be classified as import of services? क्या इस पे GST अट्रैक्ट होगा? क्या वो इंटरमीडियरी GST भरेगी? क्या मुकेश अंबानी सर इस पे GST भरेंगे? Look at the irony. What law says? As per section 13 subsection 8 of IGST Act, place of supply for intermediary is what? Location of the intermediary. This time intermediary is not registered in GST because it is of Australia. So intermediary is located in Australia, hence place of supply shall be Australia. Agent is also of Australia. Place of supply is also Australia. Hence, this transaction will be outside of GST law. This transaction will be outside of GST law. Neither Mr. Mukesh sir will pay GST under reverse charge, nor that Australian intermediary will pay GST. GST se bahar ho gaya this transaction. So you understood the irony, what is happening? Irony alert I'm giving to you. If you are an Indian intermediary and you are earning foreign commission, you are doing good job now, you're getting foreign currency. Whatever foreign currency you are earning, that is subjected to GST at the rate of 18%. This is the irony. But if you are identifying intermediary outside India and you're paying foreign commission, foreign currency or Indian currency outside India, it is not subjected to GST. Neither intermediary will pay nor the Indian recipient will pay. So this is the irony. I would like government to look into it. Why is this thing? It should be why reverse. It should be reversed. When you're getting foreign commission, you should be exempt or it should be zero rated. And when you're giving Indian currency outside India, it should be subjected to GST. But no, it's reverse point. So I request Honorable Finance Minister and other to look into it. Clear? Now, one advanced ruling I will like to discuss. This has created haywire in entire market. See what has happened. Advanced ruling. The case law is We Serve Global Private Limited. Advanced ruling is of Maharashtra. Okay, there was one overseas company which appointed We Serve Global Private Limited as an agent, broker, whatever. But to provide what? Back office services. To provide what? Back end support services. Like to prepare purchase order, pro forma invoice. They have to check the quality of the goods. Payment, they have to do the follow-up, inspection, preparation of bill of lading, sending the original document back to the overseas company. This was their role. Back office service, वो वाला role था of We Serve Global. This was not an agency commission. इनका तो पूरा नया ही रोल था. This was nowhere agency commission. All these services We Serve Global was supposed to provide to the overseas company. And for that, they will earn consideration, not commission. They will earn consideration in foreign currency. Now think about it. Think carefully. Whether such consideration is counted as commission, shall it be subjected to GST? Or this commission can back end surface service can be classified as intermediary service? What do you suggest? Is it intermediary back office service? You know what We Serve Global argued? They argued that overseas companies are directly identifying customers. We are not doing. Overseas companies are finalizing purchase and sales order. They are only directly supplying to the Indian customer. We are not their agent. Obviously, they are not their agent. Am I right? So they are only doing everything. We Serve Global comes into picture जब पूरा order is finalized. They provide back end work. Okay, so what they are arguing, back-end support service is as good as new service supplied. This is not commission. It's like a new service supplied. We Serve is supplying a new service, back-end service to the overseas company. So they are saying this is not agency, this is not brokerage, this is not commission. They are not intermediary. Their argument of We Serve Global, which is correct. As per my view, it is correct. But advanced ruling Maharashtra observed it in a different way. They are saying that supply following all these services are in nature indirectly are actually they are doing what? Facilitating the supply. Without these services, क्या वो foreign company overseas company goods बेच सकता था? It is because of all these services that overseas company is able to sell in India. So advanced ruling authority held that supply of this service are actually facilitating the supply between overseas supplier and the Indian customers. So such service are beyond the scope of office work and are in nature of facilitation. GST will be attracted. This is what advanced ruling said. We Serve Global, whatever foreign currency they are earning, it is indirectly in nature of commission. They are liable to pay GST at the rate of 18%. Okay, normally overseas company never pay 18% or even a penny GST to you. So We Serve Global and other companies are liable to pay 18% from their pocket. Okay, there are plenty of advanced ruling which you can refer, like Toshniwal Brothers Karnataka case law. Then there is one Sabri Travel Network India, which is again of Maharashtra. Then there is one Vishakar Prashant Bhave, Maharashtra case law. Global Reach Education, West Bengal. And one of the important case law, Five Star Shipping, again of Maharashtra. These are all in relation to the intermediary service. All were subjected to GST at the rate of 18%. So if you like, you can refer this case law. So this is the irony which I wanted to do. A very, very complicated topic, difficult to digest the fact how government has prepared this law. It should have been zero rated or exempted. But currently, everyone is paying GST, every intermediary. This was referred to Gujarat High Court. Even Gujarat High Court gave that GST is applicable, not an export. So I request our Honorable Prime Minister, Finance Minister, please look into this matter. Many industry providing back-end work, accounting work, they all will be shut down because of 18% hit. Clear? Okay, now just one important announcement for CA student, cost accounting, CA student, whether you are inter or final, I am beginning this pen drive lectures from 1st Jan 2021. I am going to introduce this. Okay, all my lectures, all the topics which I will show to you will be recorded in a pen drive. And I will also give you notes in PDF. Okay, and not only for the students, people who are working in accounts, finance, taxation, indirect or direct, for them also I'm preparing pen drive lectures, and it will be through case studies. Everything will be through live case studies, advanced ruling, anti-profit. So whether you are CA professional also who have cleared the degree, you can also use this pen drive, and there will be advanced topics in it. What are the topics I'm going to cover? First, the basic time, place, value of supply. Then there will be input tax credit registration and other common topics. Then there will be advanced topic, advanced ruling, anti-profit, all the case studies, case law, everything will be done here. And through movie clips, I have prepared this. So you will remember each and every topic, time, place, value. Okay, and then I also organized KBC game, objective questions, so that you remember it for lifetime. Other practical how to file GST returns, all the recorded lectures will be given to you. Case sector specific, cooperative society पे GST, education पे GST, order service, e-commerce, how GST work, everything you will get it in that pen drive. For students, the past papers and additional live lectures, if you need, we can have it. Okay, the cost is very low, the 2799 for inter CA student. Final CSCMA student, the rate is 2,999. And if you're a working professional, the rate is little high because there will be plenty more lectures as compared to the student, 349. So who sir want to buy? You have my contact number. This is my WhatsApp. You can message me or WhatsApp it, or you can also email me. Thank you so much each and everyone. I hope you have liked the lecture. I hope you have got some knowledge of intermediary. In case of any queries, please put it in comment section. You all have my contact details. You can email to me also. Thank you each and everyone. Take care. So I hope you have enjoyed this lecture. This was our fourth lecture, place of supply topic. There will be plenty of queries in spite of you going through these videos twice or thrice. So I request you जो भी queries हो section 12 से relation में, 13 से relation में, please WhatsApp me. Call मत करो because I don't pick up call because I'm in lecture or somewhere. So I request all of you to WhatsApp करके रखो. And मैंने जो topic सिखाए, please WhatsApp those. Okay, don't ask other topics. मैंने सिखाया नहीं, why are you asking? This is not a consultancy. ठीक है, ये जो मैं कोर्स सिखा रहा हूँ, ये जो टॉपिक सिखा रहा हूँ, I request all of you to ask only those queries पे. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this lecture, and fifth lecture will be value of supply under GST. Again, it will be around 2 lectures. बड़ा सा topic है, तो 2 lectures में divide होगा. So thank you so much each and everyone. कोई भी आपके comments हो, suggestions हो, I request. आनंद सर ने मुझे एक बताया था, वैसे आप लोग भी बता सकते हो, where can I improve? ठीक है, thank you so much each and everyone. Goodbye. Take care.